since you and I sat here and did this.
It has.
It's not that we got lazy. We got busy with the holidays. We got hit with the holiday hammer, and then you've been, meeting with Alejandro and talking about mortgages and
money
loans
stuff.
and
Money and stuff, and easy money and
exciting stuff.
Yeah.
But so today, welcome back. It is episode 26 of Calls with Paul. I know, we're getting old.
You remember being 26?
I do. Don't let's not go there. Those are good times.
So I spent a bunch of time this morning getting ready, and what I came up with, Marquette asked me to do my annual 10 predictions of areas that I think will appreciate the fastest, and I ended up with 12. But we'll really just focus on 10 of them. And this also, because like so much of this is really weighted towards the tech corridor, I think that like if you have any friends who are looking to move to Austin with Facebook or Apple or Google or any of the guys that are Command Center for that matter, that are moving to town, this might be a really useful post for you guys to go ahead and share with them. At least I hope it is.
Yeah, I mean, so basically you're going to boil it down into what are your predictions in general for the Austin real estate market, and then also what neighborhoods do you think are looking good investment wise? And it does just so happen that a lot of them are near those tech corridor where Apple and Facebook and I don't even know, Amazon and all those other companies are coming in.
Yeah, it's mostly what's around the domain and then going up 183. And also like we get a lot of tech guys who say that they want to be equidistant. They never know where they're going to be working 3 years from now. So they kind of want to be equidistant between South Austin stuff and North Austin stuff.
And
so
the airport.
A lot of times, along the corridor. And then for the guys that carry bags, closer to the airport's always good.
Well, so let's start with your prediction. So in general, just in real estate overall in Austin, or maybe even nationally, like nationally versus Austin, you've been doing this for 26 years. Yeah. There are a lot of agents that have only worked in Austin real estate in the good times, and they don't know what that's like when the market in Austin cools. So you have the benefit of a lot more experience and knowledge about the cycles and seasonality that Austin can have. What do you see for 2020? And part of that, I think, is looking at what happened in 2019, right?
Yeah, so 2019, we had everybody expected us to have a recession in 2019. I think we got darn close, but then I think the Fed decided to keep rates really low, and that had us power right through. I've been a little bit anxious about the election this year. I'm still not sure how the second half of the year is going to turn out. It's just a pretty big wild card, depending on how excited people get as we get close to choosing a president. But going back, I went back and I looked at like all the election years, 6 months prior to the election, 6 months after, and each year other than 2008,
which was a recession year anyway.
Yeah, was up. So I feel like, because history repeats itself, I feel pretty good about the year coming. I do have some angst about what happens when this election, this presidential session is a little bit different than others, I think. And we'll see if we get any election jitters later on in the year.
Yeah, I mean, I think that off and on, I've heard you say that you think that maybe it might end up being an extra good time for buyers in the fall.
Yep.
Because you'll have people that maybe might normally jump in the market, might be a little worried about volatility surrounding the election. And so people that might normally jump in may hold off. Buying, which may make it a really ideal time for someone that's had a hard time finding a good property in Austin to take advantage and get in there.
Yep.
So you got to be brave and have courage to dive in when other people might not otherwise.
If that happens, it may be that we don't see any of that. The bigger problem that like really drove us through the fall was low interest rates, like drove us in a nice way through the fall, was lower interest rates coupled with there just aren't many choices on the ground.
Well, it was fascinating. So 2019, I mean, it's been over, am I remembering this right, that this is the longest economic cycle?
Yep.
Is it in the history?
I think so. Yeah.
That we've had without having some kind of a downturn, slowdown, or recession.
Yeah.
And of course, Austin came out compared to the rest of the nation pretty good.
Yeah.
Back in 2010, 2011, but it's been a while. And so, and particularly in Austin, we keep seeing these rising appreciation rates. It's a hot market. Inventory is so low, which I know you're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Driving price demand and everything, driving prices higher. I mean, I think people naturally want to know, when is it going to change? Because it's bound to change sometime.
It is.
But you don't think it's 2020?
I don't think it's 2020. And there's a theory going on out there, because like at least around the country, that because like in this economic expansion, we've only seen like really 2% growth. If you average out the country, Austin, we've been jamming it higher, but
Sure.
But across the country, it's been such slow growth that the idea is maybe we can keep going for longer. I don't know that I believe that.
It's interesting. I'm just, as an economic study, what does that mean generally for the long term?
Well,
Anyway.
it's slow and steady, and we'll take it and we'll keep going until we can. But economics is cyclical. You know, it goes up and comes down, or at least goes flat and quits growing a little bit. But anyway.
So anything specific to Austin that you're predicting?
No, like the number of jobs that we have coming, it feels like we're the Rome of Texas, and everybody wants to be here.
Oh God, when you say Rome, I worry about us getting toppled.
Well, that may happen, but I don't think in our lifetime. The number of people coming here, fleeing California, and of the no tax states, Austin is especially interesting to people from a keeping more of their money.
Cool. And you've got fun new stuff like our new soccer stadium, and you know,
we're becoming a big town.
We are becoming a big town. That's kind of weird, right?
Maybe we are a big town now.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Okay, so all right, talk to me then, and to everyone else, not just me, about where you see where's a good place to go if I'm looking for a nice but smaller home, affordable. And I know that word affordability means different things. And certainly if I said affordable to my mother, her number is not going to exist in Austin.
Right.
So what do we mean when we say affordable in Austin?
So affordable in Austin is probably 300,000. Like that shocks even me. But like getting in, and I feel like real soon it's about to be 400. Like we're because we have such low inventory, and the demand for housing is so high. Like I'm seeing 3 and 350 disappear pretty fast for something that's like nice for moving into.
And we're thinking single family homes.
We're talking single family homes.
There's townhomes and condos you could find under that.
There's AB duplexes and stuff like that, but even they are like. We have one guy right now that wants to keep it under 350, and like I'm having a hard time finding a nice place.
Okay, so I want an affordable home under 300-ish, and I'd like it to be pretty nice and in a decent area.
Yeah.
Where do we look? Where do you see that being a good place to look?
One of my favorite spots right now and for the last several years has been Quail Creek, which if you look on the Google map, you'll see it as North Burnett, but it's just to the east of the Domain. So it's super convenient for all the Domain workers. And I think more people will go in there when they come to town.
That's close to the HomeAway campus and the Amazon campus and all that jazz.
All of that. And right now you can get a nice home for $300,000. For a remodeled, you're probably about $350 or more.
And that also includes Gracie Farms, right? If you're looking at neighborhoods that way.
Yeah, I lop them in together. Gracie Farms is just north of Breaker, and then the other is Quail Creek is below it, but they're all right there. The ones in Gracie Farms are a little bit newer construction. The ones in Quail Creek, to me, are nicer boxes, but they're older.
That's also close to National Instruments and stuff too, right?
Yeah,
just across my back.
Yeah.
All right. Another one I think you have on the list was North Shoal Creek in Wooten. Tell us about that.
Yeah, North Shoal Creek and
Buddy Maverick walks on your lap.
And Wooten. Can she be in my lap?
Sure.
Which one is it?
This is Maverick.
Come here, dude. Okay,
He'll come back.
You're gonna ghost me on Facebook Live.
Okay, back to North Shoal Creek in Wooten.
So North Shoal Creek, I've had a huge crush on for a long time. So I think it's going to be really the next big boon in Central Austin. It's one of the last bastions of affordability right there. And where it is if for those of you guys that really know Austin well, if you're going along Mopac and you exit Anderson Lane, you have Spicewood going the other way. That line right there and north and staying inside the loop is North Shoal Creek. I like it a lot because you have nice lots in there. It's eerily walkable to things.
How so?
You can walk to Bartlett's from inside of there.
Ooh.
You can walk to if you're further on the north side.
My
you
favorite.
can go to Trudy's as long as they're in business. You can go to Waterloo. You can go to El Dorado. Like you can walk to real stuff. Walmart.
Okay, so this is that little North Allendale pocket, sort of.
Yeah, like where Cammie and Carla were living,
Got it.
and we got some other folks in there. But,
Got it. Okay, so that's North Shoal Creek. What prices are we looking at there? A little bit higher?
And
Because it's closer in, I would imagine.
A little bit, but not much. This is real recent. I'm going to give you guys, if y'all want it, we're going to do a blog post, and we'll include examples of what these are. But let me know you want it, and the more people that want it, the faster I'll do it. But for North Shoal Creek right now, like a starter at a small home, you can get in for $380. You can probably get in there under $400. For something nice, you're probably looking at $450 and $550, and they go up as high as $600. There's some new construction in there for $700, but I'd stay away from that because I don't want you at the top of the market.
And your third pick for nice but still affordable is what?
Is Balcones Woods and Mesa Park. So
what's the appealing part about that neighborhood?
It's affordable. It's super close to the domain. You have good schools, so it's a nice mix of all of that. In there, you can get in for around $350 to $400 for a 3-bedroom, and for 4 bedrooms, you're really looking at around $550 or so, plus minus. And it's right along 183. It's outside of the loop that we talk about all the time, but it's not far at all. And
am I right that area feels a little bit, in my mind, a little bit more rural, and that you don't always have curb cuts? Is that the neighborhood that I'm thinking?
No, that's Angus Valley.
Okay,
but, and I almost included it, but it's such a small zone. But it's a super cool area. It's got a little country to it, which I think you like.
Yeah, it feels a little bit further. It's still super close in, but it just feels a little bit more old school, a little bit more community.
It is. I think that little neighborhood right there, if anybody's interested, will be a great spot for people to have brand new homes in the future that are probably pretty expensive because the lots are gigantic. But anyway, I don't see all that happening in 2020.
All right, so let's shift a little bit further away from affordability, and let's focus on larger homes, things that you're going to get with at least 4 bedrooms. What are your picks for that?
So the family good school stuff, of course, is right here where we live. We like Doss Elementary a lot, but in Northwest Hills, but it's getting expensive. So we're looking at, if you want to get into Doss Elementary, right along Mopac, Northwest Hills, you're looking at, nice homes starting at about $850.
Well, in Northwest Hills, since that is our personal neighborhood where we live, I think the big draw is that right now the brand new elementary school is under construction.
Yeah.
And that is set to open, knock on a lot of wood, in the fall of 2020, so this coming school year. And so you have a lot of people aren't really moving because either they've got really good interest rates, or they can't find something that they'd be able to replace of a similar size and value for the same kind of price. Or frankly, you don't want to get out of the feeder zone for the school zones. And we're seeing such low turnover in Northwest Hills that since 2012, this neighborhood is appreciated, Northwest Hills is appreciated over 52%.
Yeah.
Which is huge.
It's a lot.
And we're continuing to see, nice little clips, 5% so on year over year, and it just adds up over time. So that's nice. I think, sorry, I'm taking over here on Northwest Hills, but
no.
I like it because we're right here at Mopac. You can get on the expressway and be downtown, or you can hop up and go north to the Domain. You're very convenient to the Arboretum and all that. And I'd say, provided traffic's not completely backed up, I can be downtown in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And so it's just, you are sort of central, and you have nice wide streets, and you have views, and you have large mature trees, and it's a mature neighborhood. But with a mature neighborhood also comes, some needs for updating and things like that. So, okay, what else do you like for the 4-bedroom plus area?
I think we picked the right place to live. You got me sold, babe.
Cheers.
Yeah. Cheers.
Yeah. Boom.
Drank my drink in the other room.
Okay.
So the other one that's kind of a nice mix that's close in that I think a lot of folks coming to the Domain to work will choose is Crestview, because it's so central in Austin. It actually has great schools. You can get a starter home, or you can get a large family home in there. And I've loved that neighborhood forever.
On Crestview, architecturally speaking, those are a lot of mid-century modern gyms. This is where they were building housing for the GIs returning from World War II. So you see a lot of that, very ranch style or bungalow, but and a lot of tear downs going on.
A lot of those originals are disappearing, which is sad, but it's becoming a really beautiful neighborhood with the diversity and all that stuff. And its location is, if you look at a population map of Austin and you close your eyes and you decide where's the middle, just based on the population, it's about right there, which is and you can walk to all sorts of great stuff and go have pizza at Little Deli or go grab coffee at Summer Moon, or I'm convincing myself that I want to move there. No, it's an amazing spot.
All right, so Crestview, Northwest Hills. What else is on the list for 4 bedrooms plus? And I'm surprised because I would have thought Crestview would have been under 4 bedrooms, but I guess all that new construction is pushing the sizes up.
The new stuff for new construction, you're really looking at. There's a real nice one right now that's in the mid-8s there that could really go both ways for people.
Interesting.
It could be your cool, like I want to enjoy Austin kind of thing, and also I have kids and schools are important. And it's a good spot now.
Mm-hmm. Cool. What else?
So moving outside of the loop, I think we're going to go up to Great Hills, which is really at basically the intersection of 360 and I'm doing this wrong. 360 going up this way. All right. Well, 183 and 360.
How about the Arboretum?
The Arboretum area, yeah. So Rain Creek Parkway, all that jazz in there, and there just aren't very many homes available at all. But like you're looking at starting in there, if you want a 4-bedroom, around 700. If you want a nice something, you're probably more like 750. They came from. I remember when they were getting built. I'm going to date myself here a little bit, but I remember them getting built a long time ago. They were nice homes, but they were
in the 80s, a long time ago.
They were spec homes. No, this is late 90s.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Doesn't sound that far long ago when I say it.
Okay. Anyway.
So they're mostly spec homes, and then a little bit further up, I really like the area, the balconies at Spicewood. It reminds me a whole bunch of Northwest Hills, just less expensive.
What if you want to go a little bit further out? I mean, not everybody. We talk a lot about affordability in Austin, and we definitely see that with our low housing inventory. Yeah. I mean, I think just this morning you were telling me that there were only 9 homes on the market in Northwest Hills right now. 9.
No, there were 9 that sold in the last 90 days. Like I was going back and for this, what I was looking at were sold prices. So we'd have examples of what people could really like where homes transfer at.
Well, and there were, I think, a total of 230 that sold in 2019. Mm-hmm. So not a whole lot. But maybe you can't find what you want in one of these closer in neighborhoods. If someone's willing to make a little bit of a commute and drive, which a commute in Austin standards, I understand, is really nothing compared to commutes in California. What are we looking at then? Where would you recommend people go?
So I like Round Rock. Like if schools are important, I'd go to Round Rock and I'd go to Cedar Park, Leander. Those 2 zones.
What are you going to spend there?
Well, it's funny. Like I pulled examples for both, and I was like, okay, how much does $500,000 get us? And in Round Rock, I got a good sized house, about 3,500 square feet, and it came with a really nice pool.
Wow!
For $500,000.
I'm not moving to Round Rock, but okay.
I know you're not.
I see the wheels turning. Oh,
I can fantasize a little bit. Or Cedar Park Leander, you can get about a 4,000 square foot house, no pool. And I just pulled random stuff. I didn't spend a great deal of time making sure that they all match because I only had half a day to do it. And so anyway, Cedar Park, a lot of bang for the buck going out both directions. Then the commute out there to the Domain from Round Rock or Cedar Park, you're probably looking at 15, 20 minutes. Not bad at all.
And I can tell from your notes here that you had a really hard time cutting off your list of appreciating areas.
I did.
At 10. What? There was one last one, I think, over in Mueller that you were interested in.
No, I love Mueller, and I think both the Mueller and Grove are really powerful, and they're both going to do fine. That's newer construction, but again, there isn't a lot of inventory. I think I think where we're going to fill the gaps and see a great deal of appreciation is in 78722, which is a little neighborhood between basically UT and Mueller. So it's stuck right there.
And that's Cherrywood,
yeah,
Delwood,
French Place, Delwood, all that stuff. I think you're going to see that really come up as people continue to flood into town. I also think,
and you can walk there. I mean, you're close to all the great little restaurants and stuff. And then the other one you liked was what?
78745, which is starting to be really cool. In the last 5 years, it's appreciated.
You had a lot of sales in it 4.5 last year.
I did.
Now I'm seeing why.
Yeah, because it's a huge growth story.
Good value.
Enough people are moving in there to where it's cool now. Restaurants are starting to follow suit. All that kind of stuff. But it's the area just south of Ben White, and it goes down to I think William Cannon or so. Don't quote me on that. But it goes down there, and it's appreciated in the last 5 years 60%.
Cool.
So.
Any last parting thoughts about the Austin market and appreciation?
I mean,
you picked these because not only you're not just telling people what you can get, but you think that these are areas that are going to appreciate. And so these are areas that are also good investments for someone.
These are areas that I get real excited about.
Okay.
For people, depending on what they're looking for. If you're looking for great schools, it may be Round Rock, Cedar Park, Leander. If you need a nice place for $500,000, if you have an unlimited budget, it's probably Northwest Hills. If you're kind of in that, hey, we may have kids one day, but right now we just want to play and have a good time. I'm probably Crestview with you. So these are all just kind of out of my playbook and looking at what over the next year.
Yeah, so if people are coming to town for these tech jobs and maybe they're going, this is a short-term play for them and they're going to be moving, looking at changing jobs and changing companies in the next couple of years, finding a place that's got a decent chance of appreciation puts you in a good position for then selling and recovering your money as well, rather than maybe some of the neighborhoods that are still very popular and beautiful and great neighborhoods in Central Austin, but that don't see the same levels of appreciation.
Yeah, it's important. You never know. What I tell people is that you never know what life's going to hand you, and when you may need to leave. So we need to make sure we buy things right, so that if something does happen and you need to leave, I know you're planning on staying for 10 years, but I've had people tell me that, and then they leave in 6 months. We got to be able to get you out without losing money, hopefully.
This is awesome. So what we're going to do is this is going to become a blog post on the website at homesville.com. We will include sample searches for any of these. So if you know people that really want to see more what these neighborhoods look like and get a sense of what you can get for your money and what the architecture looks like, you'll be able to access those there. And also, if you know anybody that's looking, or you've got friends that work for any of these employers that are moving to town and they're not really sure what the neighborhoods are like or what they can get, you can absolutely use this as a resource, and we encourage you to share it. In the meantime, if anybody has any questions, this guy right here has all the answers.
Or I can find them.
Yeah. So drop us a direct message, send us an email, text, pretty much everything but smoke signals we'll respond to. Anything else?
Others, telegraph, I guess, maybe.
I meant wrapping it up, honey.
No, that's it. Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for Calls with Paul.